Hello. Okay, I'm getting ready to discuss some question. So I hope you can see the display. So let's begin with some questions. So today I'm going to discuss about the previous year question which have been come in NEET last 38 years. So let's begin with some questions. So first question, so you can offer me a cup of tea if you like my question, and if you want PDF of these questions, you definitely send comment sections, knock me comment section, and give your email, and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Let's begin with the first question. Which one of the following aspects is an exclusive characteristics of living things? So 4 options are given. You have to choose the correct answer from this among these 4 options. So first option is isolated metabolic reactions occurs in vitro. So this option is not it is not exclusive, so it not exclusive to living things, because such reaction can happen in a test tube also. In it also, in like enzyme activity, you can perform enzyme activity in lab in test tubes, so not the defining features of life. So option C, increasing in mass from inside only. So this option is also not correct, because some non-living things can also grow externally, like crystal formations on non-living. When crystal formations of some material, it's occur in, so this is not the exclusive features of living organism. That's why this option also not correct. So next option C, perception of events happening in the environment and their memory. So this refers to consciousness, the ability to sense surroundings and response. Only living things have these features. So even simple organisms like bacteria can sense changes and response, and higher organisms have memory. That is the exclusive characteristics of living things. That's why option C, perception of events happening in the environment and their memory. This is the correct answer for this question. So in this question, you have to find out the exclusive characteristics of living thing. So only living things have memory, consciousness. That's why that is the exclusive characteristics or features of living things. So next option D, increase in mass by accumulation of materials both on surfaces as well as internally. So increase in mass by accumulation of material both on surface and internally, it's happen in both living and non-living things, like crystal growth on surface of some materials, non-living materials. So that is not exclusive to living things. That's why the correct answer is for the option is perception of events happening in the environment and their memory. So let's move to the, so if you like my questions and answering style, so you can like my videos and share with your friends as well, and you can offer me cup of tea, which I have provided the QR code, and you can offer me cup of tea for my little efforts to help you for your NEET exam, upcoming NEET exam. So let's move to the next question. So living organism can be exceptionally distinguished from the living things on the basis of their ability for. So 4 options are given. It has come in the NEET exam 2007, And for this question, the living organism can be exceptionally distinguished from non-living things on the basis of their ability for. So, four options are given. Option A, interaction with environment and progressive evolution. Option B, reproduction. Option C, growth and movement. And option D, responsiveness to touch. So you can, before I telling you the correct answer and explanation for the correct answer, you can tell your answer in the comment section. So let's move to the answer. So the first option, interaction with the environment and progressive evolution. So this option is not correct, because evolution is a population level process, not an individual trait. So interaction can also happen in non-living systems like machine with sensors. So not exclusive or exceptional. And option B, reproduction. Some living things like moles, worker bees, infertile humans do not reproduce. So it is not universal features of living organisms. And option C, growth and movement. So growth and movement can occur in non-living things too. Like I have already told you that crystal formation is also occur in the non-living things, and it's grow by formation of crystal. So that is the, and movement is not always visible in all living organisms. So this option is also discarded. And the option D, responsiveness to the touch. This is the correct answer, because responsiveness to the stimuli, including touch, is a defining and universal features of all living beings. Even unicellular organisms like bacteria or amoeba responds to touch and environmental changes. That is why the responsiveness or consciousness to the touch or to the environment, consciousness, memory, and responsiveness, it is the exclusive form of a living things. That is the exclusive form of living things. So this is the correct answer. So this type of question have come again and again in NEET exams. You have to have the clear idea about the living. What is the difference between living things and non-living things. So let's move to the next question. So for this question, before go to the next question, for this question I am telling you the correct answer is option D. So you can take that screenshot, or I'll provide you the PDF. If you comments on, put your give your email address in the comment sections, I'll individually provide you PDF for this slides. Or let's move to the next question. So next question, the biological organization starts with option A, cellular level. Option B, organismic level. Option D, atomic level. Option D, submicroscopic molecular level. So for this answer, so first of all I discuss about the first option, cellular level. So the cellular level explanation, the biological organization refers to the structural levels of complexity in living organism, from the simplest to the most complex. Here's why the cellular level is considered the starting point. So for this question, the correct answer is the cellular levels. But all other options like organismic levels is not correct, because this is a higher level in biological organization. It's come after cells, tissue, and organs. So that is not the starting points of biological organization. So the option C, the atomic level. So the atomic level are chemical units, not biological. So that's why atom alone are not considered as living. And option D, submicroscopic molecular level. So the molecular like DNA, proteins, etc. are essential components, but life begins only when these molecules function within a cells. That is why the sub-microscopic molecular level is not the starting point, but it is, you can call it the biological organization levels. And biological organization level always start with cellular levels. That's why for this question the correct answer is the option A. Biological organization always start with or begin with cellular level. Cell, then tissue, then organ, then system, and then whole organisms. Let's move to the next question. So if you like my question answering style and if it helpful, then you can like my video. So I'm telling you that I hope the answering session is going well. Here my internet connection is not very well because I'm from a very remote area. So let's move to the next question. So next question, select the correctly written scientific name of mango which was first described by Carolus Linnaeus. So 4 options, the Mangifera indica. So Mangifera indica, option B. So option B, Mangifera indica, Carolus Linnaeus, and Mangifera indica, Linnaeus, and Mangifera indica. So for this question, it has come in the NEET exam 2019. So according to the International Code of Nomenclature, the correct way to write a scientific name includes the genus name capitalized. It should be capitalized because the genus name always start with capitalized. So here all genus names are start with capitalized, but the species name lowercase, always be lowercase. So for this the option A discarded because the both genus and species name start with capital letter. That's why the A option is discarded. And next question, so both and the third rules for biological nomenclature. So both name in italics, and when it is written in the written by hand, it should be underlined. And the author citations, the name of the person who first validly published the name. So the correct answer for this question will be D, option D. For mango, the genus name Mangifera and the species name Indica, described by Carolus Linnaeus. So the correct answer will be the option C. So Mangifera indica, Lin. So the other option, the species name should not be capitalized, and option B, Mangifera indica Linnaeus, the incorrect abbreviation. It should be Lin, not Carolus Linnaeus. And option D, Mangifera indica correct format, but missing author name. That's why D option is D option is missing. That's why the option D not correct. So option C for this question will be correct option, Mangifera indica, Lin. So let's move to the next question. The correct option is option C. So let's move to the next question. Which of the following is against the rule of International Code of Biological Nomenclature? So nomenclature. So 4 options are given. You have to choose the correct answer for this question. So option A, handwritten scientific name. According to the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, the scientific name of plants are binomial, consisting of a generic name or genus and a specific epithet. And the generic name always start with capital letter, and specific epithet always start with small letter. And scientific name should be written in Latin or Latinized form, and they should be italicized when typed or underlined when it is written in handwritten. So option D. So four options are given. So option A, handwritten scientific name should be underlined. So it is not against the. So if you read the rules, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, you will easily answer this question. So the first option is when option A, handwritten scientific name should be underlined. Yeah, of course, this is correct. So it is not goes against the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Option B, every species should have a generic name and a specific epithet. It's also correct because it in the scientific. So every species have a generic name and a specific epithet. That's why this option B is correct. And option C is scientific names are in Latin and should be italicized. So option C also correct. And option D, generic and specific name should be written starting with small letter. So both generic and specific name should be written start with small letter. It is not correct. It's against the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So the correct answer for this question is option D, because the scientific name always should be written in with the genetic name always start with capital letter, and specific epithet always start with a small letter, and it should be written in with Latin or Latinized form. So I have given you some why the four options are not correct. The option handwritten and scientific names should be underlined. This is correct according to the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Option, and when scientific names are written by hand, they must be underlined or so, and to show they are scientific names. And when typed or printed, the name are italicized. So option B, every species should have a generic and a specific epithet. This is a fundamental principle of binomial nomenclature. The scientific name consists of two parts, generic name and specific epithet, which is called species, and generic name is a genus. For example, Mangifera indica. Mangifera is a generic name and indica is a specific epithet. And option C, scientific name are in Latin and should be italicized. So this is correct because scientific names are traditionally in Latin or Latinized form, and they are italicized when typed or when it is written by hand. Then it should be underlined to distinguish them from other text. And option, so the rules are handwritten name underlines. So the correct. So let's move to the next question. So before going to the next question, I'm telling you, so read the question and it will be very helpful, and try to answer this question in the comment section. That will be very helpful. That will be very helpful. Okay. So let's begin with nomenclature is governed by certain universal rules. Which one of the following is contrary to the rules of nomenclature? So in this question, which of the following is contrary to the rules of nomenclature? That means they in this question they want to know that which is incorrect option. So the first option, the names are written in Latin and are italicized. So the names are written in Latin and italicized. This is correct. Scientific name always should written in Latin and italicized form and should be italicized when typed. When, and option B, when written by hand, names are to be underlined. This is correct. Scientific name always when it is written in hand they should be underlined instead of italicized. And option C, biological names should be written in any language. This is incorrect. Hence the correct answer to the question, and this is the in this question they ask the which is contrary to the rules of biological nomenclature. That's why the option C will be the correct answer for this question. And the D option, why option D is correct. The first word in a biological name represents a genus name and the second is a specific epithet. That's why this is the correct. So option A, name are written in Latin and italicized. Option B, when written by hand, names are to be underlined. And option D, the first word in the biological names represents the genus name and the second is specific epithets. Option A, B and D are all correct because these are the rules of biological nomenclature. Should only the C option, biological names can be written in any language. No, biological name should be always written in Latin or Latinized form universally, not in any language. You can write it. You cannot write it in your language like Hindi, English, not even in English. Although English is a universal language, but it should be in these rules, biological nomenclature rules. It is prominently highlighted that the biological name should be written in Latin language and in or Latinized form. So it is accepted universally. So for this question, the correct answer is option biological. So here, just in this question, the question asks you which goes against the biological, which rule goes against the biological nomenclatures of organisms. So let's move to the next question. But in this question, it is also ask you that the which one of the following option is incorrect about the biological nomenclature of organisms. So let's move to the next question. So ICBN stands for. So for option are given, you know very well that ICBN stands for the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, which provides some rules and recommendation dealing with the formal botanical names given to the plants. So the foundation of the ICBNs are given in a book written by Carolus Linnaeus named Philosophia Botanica. It is independent of zoological nomenclature. So the ICBN stand for International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So ICBN refers to the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, which is a set of rules and recommendations dealing with the formal names that are given to plants. It ensures consistency and universality in naming plant species worldwide, and the other option do not correctly represent the acronym ICBN. So let's move to the next question. Biosystematics aims at. So biosystematics, the classification for option are given. Option A, classification of organisms based on broad morphological characteristics. So biosystematics is the study of identification, nomenclature, classification, and relationships among living beings. In other words, it is the study of diversity of organisms, their comparative and evolutionary relationships based on comparative anatomy, ecology, physiology, and biochemistry and other fields. So the correct option for this question is the option C, the classification of organism based on their evolutionary history and establishing their phylogeny on the totality of various parameters from all fields of study. So biosystematics is a branch of biology that deals with the classification of organisms based on their evolutionary relationships, incorporating data from various fields such as morphology, ecology, cytology, genetics, ecology, biochemistry. So the option C, the best describes the comprehensive approach, and option A is more aligned with traditional taxonomy based only on morphology, and option B, the relates to taxonomy but does not emphasize the evolutionary history. Option B is the delimiting various taxa of organism and establishing their relationships. So here the correct answer is option C, the classification of organism based on their evolutionary history and establishing the phylogeny on the totality of various parameters from all fields studies. Let's move to the next question. So the book Genera Plantarum was written by option A, Engler and Prantl, Bentham and Hooker, and Beze, and option D, Hutchinson. For this answer, the correct answer is Hooker. Bentham and Hooker, in their monumental work Genera Plantarum, have provided elaborate keys for the easy identification of 202 natural orders and genera. So the correct answer for this question is Bentham or Hooker. So let's move to the name. The term new systematics was introduced by. So the correct answer is the term new systematics was given by Julian Huxley in 1940, and this classification takes into account the cytological, morphological, and genetical, and anatomical, and palynological, and physiological characteristics. So explain. Julian Huxley is a prominent evolutionary biologist, introduced the term new systematics in 20th century to describe a modern approach to a biological class that integrate evolutionary history with taxonomy. So, and Bentham and Hooker, Linnaeus and A.P. de Candolle are important figures in taxonomy, but they belong to earlier eras and did not coin this term. So the Bentham Hooker write the Genera Plantarum. This is a major work in plant taxonomy published in 19th century, which provided a detailed classification of plants based on morphological characteristics. And Carolus Linnaeus wrote the Systema Naturae, and the Linnaeus is known for the father of modern taxonomy, and he introduced binomial nomenclature system for naming organisms. And A.P. de Candolle write the Prodromus systematis naturalis regni vegetabilis. So A.P. de Candolle made scientific contribution to the plant taxonomy and proposed natural systematic classification systems. So this is the explanation here. So more information I have gathered and put for this question. So you have to have memorized these authors and their books also, and this will help you question other MCQs like the who wrote the Systema Naturae. 4 options are given. You have to choose the correct answer from this. So Systema Naturae and Prodromus systematis naturalis regni vegetabilis is written by J.A.P. de Candolle, and so here is a many types of information are given here for your more preparation for your NEET exam. So let's move to the next question. Let's move to the So static concept of species was put forward by. So static concept, the static concept of species state that the species are fixed, permanent and unchanging entities since their creations. So Linnaeus Carolinus, who was known as the father of taxonomy, supported this view. He believed that species were immutable and created by God in their present form. Later, this idea was challenged by Charles Darwin, who proposed that the theory of evolution and natural selection, showing that the evolution species are dynamic and change over time. Hence, the static concept was given by Carolus Linnaeus. So, the static concept was put forwarded by Carolus Linnaeus. So, the correct answer for this question is B, option B, Carolus Linnaeus. And the dynamic concept of a species concept was given by Charles Darwin. So evolutionary theory, natural selection was given by, and Darwin told that in his book The Origin of Species, that species are dynamic and change over time and create new species from their ancestor species. That is the main difference between the static concepts of species and the Darwin concept, dynamic concept of species. So the very important question for your NEET preparations. Let's move to the next question. Basic unit of smallest, basic unit of smallest, basic unit or smallest taxonomy or classification is. So basic or smallest taxon. So what is the taxon first of all? So taxon is defined as a group of similar organisms that species. In taxonomy, species is the fundamental, basic and smallest unit of classification. It defines a group of similar organisms that can interbreed and produce their fertile offspring. So in higher taxonomy categories like family, order, class, species are the broader groups that include many species. Variety is a rank below species, but in taxonomy the basic unit always species. For this question, the correct answer will be the option B. The next option, a taxon. What is the taxon? A group of related family, a group of related species, a type of living organism, a taxonomic group of any ranking. So 4 options are given here. You have to choose that. First of all, what is taxon? You have to know the taxon. So a taxon is any taxonomic unit and any rank in the biological classification systems, like species is a taxon, genus is a taxon, family is a taxon, and kingdom is a taxon. So each and every one is a different each and particular taxons. So the taxon is any taxonomic unit at any rank in the biological classification. So you have to remember that a taxon is a taxonomic unit at any rank in biological classification system. So taxon is not limited to species or families, but it can be any level of classification. Therefore, the correct answer is a taxonomic group of any ranking. So very important, you can take the note for this questions, or you can remember if you ask in the question that what is taxon. So it will very helpful for if you ask in the question that what is the, so it will be very helpful for your question. So taxon is referred to the taxonomic unit at any rank in a biological classification of systems. So species is a taxons, genus is a taxon, family is a taxons. So let's move to the next question. A group of plants or animal with similar traits of any rank. So 4 options are given. A group of plants or animal with similar traits of any rank is. Definitely the answer will be the taxons, because species, genus, order are specific ranks in a taxonomic hierarchy. So in a taxonomy, However, the question says that any rank, which mean it can be species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. The general term that covers any taxonomic group at any rank is taxon. So the correct answer for this question is taxon. Let's move to the next question. The lineage is credited with binomial nomenclature. Option B, theory of biogenesis, and option C, discovery of microscope, and option D, discovery of blood circulation. So for this question is correct option is option A. Carolus Linnaeus introduced or discovered the binomial nomenclature for biological organisms. So Carolus Linnaeus is also known as father of taxonomy, introduced the system of binomial nomenclature where species is given a two-part scientific name, genus, species, like humans, like us, Homo sapiens. So humans are known as Homo sapiens. In his binomial nomenclatures, humans are known as Homo sapiens. So the other option, like theory of biogenesis, was proposed by Louis Pasteur, and the microscope was discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek, and this blood circulation was discovered by William Harvey. So you can get more information from this if you solve this type of MCQs and explanations with me. So the correct when to answer a MCQ, you get more informations about the other option also, other which are wrong in these questions. So very carefully you read you can get a PDFs, and for my hard work, for you can offer me a cup of tea for this question. Let's move to the next question. So binomial nomenclature, and again I am telling you that Carolus Linnaeus wrote a book which is called Systema Naturae, and another book also which was written by Carolus Linnaeus is a Species Plantarum. He used two Latin words for any organism, the first being generic name and the second one is specific name. So specific, which is called specific epithet, and the generic name begins with capital letter and the species name with small letter. So very important question for this question. Let's move to the next question. Carolus Linnaeus evolved a system of nomenclature called monomial, option B vernacular, option C binomial, and option D polynomial. So four options. So correct option will be the binomial nomenclature, which I have already discussed in the previous to answer the previous question. So here I am giving you some other explanation. So the Carolus Linnaeus is a father of taxonomy, introduced the binomial system of nomenclature in his book Species Plantarum. And in the system, every species given two-part scientific name, the species name, and the genus name and the species name, like Homo sapiens and Panthera leo or Panthera tigris. The system is universal, standardized, and avoid confusion caused by local name is also known as vernacular name, which is given in this question. Option say vernacular name. So vernacular name is always a local names. Like if you call a goat is a goat in English, and in Hindi it's called other name also. So in different area or regions or in different language, one organisms have different name in different language. So this type of name is called vernacular name. But in Linnaeus Carolus binomial nomenclature, one organisms have only one names, which is called which is first name is genus name Homo, like in humans Homo, and the second name is sapiens. So this is universal, standardized, and avoid confusion by local names or long polynomial description which is used in earlier. So monomial single name. Mononomial is a single name, not used for species naming. And vernacular, I have already told you that it is a local or common names in different language and different regions. And polynomials, old system with long descriptive long, which is not used in it anymore. So the binomial nomenclature is the most standardized universal names. So next question, let's move to the next question. Sequence of taxonomic categories is. So very well. So the correct answer will be division first, then class, then order, family, then tribe, then genus, and then species. So the correct answer is option C. So in taxonomic category, the higher classification, the higher to lower is the for plants. Kingdom, the highest level of category, and then division, then class, then order, then family, tribe, genus, and then species. And for animal kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. In this question, the division is used, which is actually refers to the plants. So the correct answer is division, class, order, family, tribe, genus, species. So that is the end of for this question today. For this live sessions, I'll discuss more questions like this if you interested, and told me in the comment sections also. And if it is helpful for you, told me in the comment sections. So so today I'm finishing or ending the live sessions, and it will very helpful. So let's, and many other soft questions remain, but I have to end this session for today. I'll later discuss. So okay, today for good night for today. I'll discuss many other questions tomorrow, and the remaining questions like this, the term phylum was given by. So these are the options I give you. So today I'm finishing, or I signing off for these sessions. Tata, goodbye.